Good morning. My name is Elizabeth DeVries, and I want to do a video on speaking to our soul. The reason I want to bring this up is because there is so much within many individuals that is unexpressed, repressed, things we think that we don't say. We're taught this since children to be saying the right thing, or don't tell Mrs. H that her hat looks ugly, or don't show your anger. If you're feeling upset with your mom, don't show your anger. Push it down. Be a good girl, be a good boy. It's a form of silencing ourselves. I made a few notes here, so I'm just looking at them. And a fear of not being understood if we really spoke from our heart, from our authenticity. So it's kind of a way of being that we're taught to be since we're little. And then as life unfolds and we go through suffering and different personal situations, all of this starts coagulating within our form and can result in illness, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. So when you learn to speak to your soul, what you're doing is going in, you're not speaking to your soul in a thing like, in a way of affirmations where I am abundant, I'm this, I'm that, I'm that. That is all relating to our ego. I'm talking about speaking to the essence of our soul, about the private things that we've never shared with anybody, the things that have made us feel terribly wounded as young children or adolescents or in any years of our life. So when you learn to speak to your soul, healing begins not from a place of medicine or time, but the healing which comes from what you're doing with your soul by bringing up all those unexpressed parts of yourself. Your soul knows and loves you best. It's been the one that's been waiting for you to talk to you since you've been little. And when you were very little, you did express from your soul. Think of that baby lying in the bassinet, yelling for food or kicking its feet in the air and gurgling and talking and watching the mobile above it and having conversation with that, having conversation with all of life without any silencing. And then slowly over the years, as we go to school, as we get indoctrinated in a religion, as we hear the rules of our parents, we slowly shut ourselves down or repress the more authentic parts of ourselves. So often a child will show anger, they'll get sent to the room, when a solution might have been in that moment to take the child and share and say, why are you so upset? Obviously you're in a state of great unrest. You can spill it out to me, whatever it is. They may yell at you, I hate you, or I don't want this food, I hate the way you cook your food, or I don't like my teacher at school. They come out with a real kind of shooting out from the heart what's really going wrong. So what I'm trying to say is all those times in our life, as we grow older, as we interact with people, we learn to silence ourselves, to silence the true longings of our heart, to silence when we feel somebody has crossed the boundaries of our soul. We need to speak out, or we need to have conversation with our soul and express the inexpressible, because our soul listens, our soul understands, and we also want to listen to our soul, which I'll talk about in another video. Now, why do I bring all this up? People have often asked me why your body is so strong and healthy at the age you are. Why is And I would think most of it is because I spend a huge amount of time in solitariness, having a communion with my soul. I also have communion with my body. Every day I hold my hand in my heart and I go through my body. I thank, like yesterday I was at the dentist lying in the dental chair. Gave me a prime opportunity to inwardly go into a conversation with my body. I'm sorry, body, that we're putting a needle into the gums right now. I'm sorry about the time that so-and-so happened and I didn't look after you properly. Or just say you've had cancer and you've had somebody's surgery or chemotherapy or radiation. You take your hands, you put them on the part of your body that you had the surgery. You make a deep apology to your body that you allowed it to be violated, and you explain to your body that you did it for the sake of getting rid of something that was poisonous to your body or detrimental or taking you down. And at the same time you say, I promise you I will look after you better in the future, and I'm so grateful to you that you're cooperating with me and working along with me. Say you're going to get a COVID vaccine and you don't really have 100% good feelings about vaccines. If you decide to go ahead and have that vaccine, you put your hand over the vaccine and you say to your body, I would like you to accept this vaccine into the body, but only use the parts that are resonating with my body. The rest, I ask you to let it be released and not stay in the body. Same with food. When we eat the food, we bless the food. We put our hands over, we send a loving energy, a healing energy into our food or our coffee or whatever it is we're having in that moment. And you ask that only the highest and best amount of nutrition is taken out of that food. The rest you pass through, you release. Say you have to spend time around somebody that's very toxic, then you need to afterwards do a clearing on your body, and before you see that person, you need to put an energetic shield of white light around your body so that anything that comes toward you will just bounce off you. But most of all, I can tell you truly that speaking to your body for whatever is the physiological issue in your body or the emotional issue in your heart, in your solar plexus, the lack of feeling any self-esteem. This is where we hold our self-esteem. This is where we feel the heartbreak and expel and express our love. This is where we express our truth. So if we have been inauthentic or lying or deceptive, this is a part of our body that suffers. If we have been operating solely on, this is the area of divine sight, divine intuition. So if we have been avoiding or not responding to our own intuition and just saying, oh, that's just a passing thought, and not allowing our intuition to develop and grow and honor it by following it. For example, you get a message when you're driving. Don't go down that street, take the street beside it, turn right and go on the next street. I always listen to that, and I always listen to all those little messages I get. And the more you listen to them, the more you honor them, the greater the capacity to grow and protect yourself and feel what's coming down the path in the future. So there's this way that we have how could I describe it? Think of yourself as a little child waiting to be heard, waiting to be understood. Our soul is waiting for us. Our soul has always been waiting for us. Meanwhile, we've been reading information here, listening to this person's advice over here, being impulsive over here. But if we really sat quietly and commune with our soul, we would get astonishing information. Let me see what else I wanted to say here. If we get in the habit of suppressing who we are, of being a chameleon, of putting on a mask and being a different person with each person we spend time with, we actually, one by one, we close the doors to our own true self-expression. Start repressing that incredible creative power that lies deep within us, in our great stores of energy within us. So when we change who we are with each person, what we've done is develop the art of performance. But performance is not authenticity. And the true authentic parts of ourselves get all pushed down more and more and more and more, till we lose all touch with who we are. And in turn, we lose all touch with our body. We lose the touch with our heart. We go completely into the mind, creating new characters all the time, and we lose the authentic part of our own beingness. Talking with our soul restores that authenticity, which is why I've spoken many times about doing the life review, where I talk authentically to my soul. I was really out of line today. I feel so terribly I didn't speak up there and speak the truth, or that I could have said more, or I could have set a boundary there and left that situation. I didn't do that. And listen to your soul. How would you advise me, beloved soul? The soul being the animation, the spiritual part that animates every cell at the subatomic level in your body. How can I change that? Another thing about talking to your body, do not repeat to a lot of people when there's something wrong with you. Like, oh, I have a migraine, and you tell that to 20 people. Each time you tell it, the little receptors on the cells in your body poke their heads up, hear that, and say, we have a migraine. The body stores all of it, and the words that we say, our body listens to those words. Oh, I'm a person prone to migraines. Oh, everybody in my family had cancer, so I'll probably have it. Words like that, instead of I am aspiring to hold the highest light throughout every cell in my body, and to feel the healing rays just permeate throughout my body. And if you sit very quietly and commune with your soul, you'll start to feel the energy of your soul enlivening you. You start to feel happier. You'll start to feel more at peace. You'll start to feel more wise. You'll gather new attitudes about how to handle situations. Your body will go into a state of relaxation. In turn, when we're in a state of relaxation, body has an opportunity to heal. So I'd just like to ask you, when was the last time you spoke to your own soul? Not asking for things, talking about things you wouldn't dare or haven't dared to speak to a living being on this earth. You talk to your soul about it. Your soul understands you more than any other being on earth. It loves you unconditionally, and it's there to support you. Healing comes from speaking to yourself. It needs to hear your voice. I hear you, soul. I need you, soul. I'm listening, soul. How do you feel about this? It's so important. So important. And if we aren't authentic and we don't know who we are, we've lost track of ourselves through trying to please so many people and perform in so many roles, we need to go back and restore our soul. Some things you've never said in your life, some things I've never said in my life, I now say them to my own soul. Sometimes we're ashamed of parts of ourselves. Speak to your soul about that. Sometimes we have great wounded pain from one or both parents, and we repressed it all, and we were the good little girl, the bad little girl. And we need to go back and talk about that with our soul. Why did I do that? What was the purpose behind that? How can I shift that? Sometimes I go to my soul, like especially when I lost my children, and I said, I'm hurting today so deeply, and I don't know what to do with that. I don't know where to put that hurt, that pain, that broken heart. What do I do with it? And I chat with my soul, and I feel it start to lift. I feel the sorrow start to lift, and I feel deeper understanding about what I went through start to manifest itself. It's not about thinking, it's about speaking. Sometimes I say to my soul, thank you for breathing when I forgot how to breathe. Or when I was asleep, thank you for looking after all those things. Sometimes what I'm going to say to my soul is messy and raw and angry. And I get it out. I had a great intuitive tell me once. I said, what is the secret of great health? And he said, you know already you're living that way. Secret of great health is to learn how to let go and to process quickly, not to hang on things ad nauseum, but to actually process them and release them. So forgiveness is a great part of that. Learning to forgive others, not just to not feel that hatred of them anymore, but to not be carrying that wound anymore that you feel they inflicted on you, which really in actuality it was that unhealed part of yourself that got in and hurt you, an external manifestation of an inner wound. I often ask my soul for guidance, and another thing you could say to your soul is, you know, you've lost a lot of people the older you get. A lot of people you knew and loved are no longer physically informed. And you can say to your soul, I feel lonely today. I feel dreadfully lonely. And I need comfort from you. I need to feel the essence of my being. I need to feel that arms around me. And you just sit quietly and you can feel that restoration. You can feel, I call forth the angelic realms, and I have a certain group around me that are blue, tall blue beings, and I call them in for my healing work on myself. So these are just tips about the intertwining with your soul and with your divine self, and with how to walk through this world releasing, and each day being so much in that moment that what occurred in the prior moment, you learn to experience it fully, and then to let it flow through. And throughout the day, I take moments with my soul and with my body and just say thank you so much for this phenomenal health, and for the good people around me, and for the life I have, and the creatures and my beloved children, and the friends that are there for me every day. And I thank my soul for bringing them into my life. I'm going to end there, and the next time I'm going to talk about a lot about how your soul can help you. This is more about creating the relationship with your soul and acknowledging your soul. Some of you may have never spoken to your soul in your entire life, and it's been waiting all this time for you to acknowledge it so it can help you to grow beyond a conscious mind, to go into the deeper realms of soulfulness and sacredness and self-purification and expansion of being, so that we can help others. Thank you, and I hope that you got something out of this video. Don't forget to subscribe if that appeals to you, and may we all grow in a sense of mercy, not only to others, but to ourselves. Thank you.